Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Love After Lockup. This is season 2, episode 10, the $800,000 hustle. Okay, we're gonna go right into it. We start open with Clint and Tracy. So Clint is in New Mexico, sadly, on his part, because he's just down. Okay, he had to leave his girl. She didn't stole his car. She didn't take the ring or anything like that, but so that means she still loves him. So she just sold a car and some money. So he is, I guess, at the hotel where he works, and he's talking to his ex-wife, who is also his boss at the hotel where he works. And he is sitting down telling her what happened. He was like, look, we was having a good night. Everything was going well. We had just got married at the honka-tonk donk. We had drove home. She was acting a little weird. We got to the hotel. We was having fun. I was getting a little sleepy. She was like, I want some crack. And I thought she was just playing, So I was like, whatever, girl. So I fell asleep. Come to find out, she really wanted some crack. And she took everything. She didn't take the ring or nothing. She didn't take the ring. And I had $200 bills in my wallet. She only took one. So you know what that means. That's love, okay? So he and his ex-wife is just like, yeah, that's really generous that she kept that. She didn't take both the 100. She just took one. It's really nice of her to do that. So she is just, you can tell she's over it from her facial expressions, but she is just trying to be there for him, but he is making it hard. His mama and his daddy both are like, I'm trying to be there for you, but you're making it hard, right? So then we cut to where he is going to his... Oh, also what happened in that scene is like the ex-wife was like, we need to get you a lawyer, and if we get you a lawyer and everything, and the lawyer recommends that you go ahead and snitch on your girl, are you going to? And he was like, nope, not going to, so that's pointless. And he was just like, I can't. I'll listen to what the lawyer is saying, but I'm not going to do what the lawyer is recommending me to do. So then we cut to him. He's driving in his little black, it's a nice little car. I'm like, who got him this car? Okay. But driving this nice black little car, he pulls up to his mom and his daddy's house, which is a nice house. They have a little land and everything. It looks nice in Hobbs, New Mexico, okay? So he gets to the house. His mom is already looking like, stupid. I'm tired of this. I'm just done. So he rolls up in the kitchen. Mama's there like, what? Like, what, why? Like, what's... And he's like, I'm doing fine, Mama. I'm just like, I'm just a little, sad and depressed and stuff. And Mama was like, look, I didn't even know she was on drugs. Like, if I knew that she was on drugs, I would have been discouraged this. Stop it, okay? Stop it, okay? Clint is your baby boy. You was gonna support him regardless if she was a drug addict or not, boo. So, his mama was like, she was using you. And he was like, no, she wasn't using me. I mean, she took my car, and she took my phone, and she took my money, but she didn't take the ring. And she didn't take the other $100 bill. So that negates everything, and that means she loves me. So she really wasn't using me, Mama. And Mama was like, oh my gosh. And Mama was saying, like, Dr. Phil says, Dr. Phil predicts the future. He's like, look, if she's the way she is, that's what it's going to be in the future. Like, that's what Dr. Phil says. And I was like, of course, I watch Dr. Phil, of course. And yeah, that's basically what happened with their conversation. And then Clint gets a phone call while he's there in the kitchen with his mama from his ex-wife/boss. And she's like, look, we just got a phone call in. It was from a jail. He was like, what jail? And she was like, I didn't hear all that. I wasn't trying to listen to all that. I just heard jail. That's when I tuned out. She was like, I got a call from a jail. And they was like, where's Clint? And I said, Clint not here. And then they was like, well, are you the ex-wife boss? And I was like, yeah, that's me. And yeah. Then I heard in the background, I was hearing that, I want to talk to Clint. And I was like, it's got to be for Clint. So that's why I called you. And he was like, yes, she's okay. She's doing good. Yes, we can talk again. We still married. I'm her husband. We're going to make it work. And his mama's like, okay, good. She's in jail. Perfect. That's where she needs to be. And Clint's like, yep. Need to find out. I need to call every jail in the state of Texas to figure out which one she's at so I can go and meet her and so she can take the rest of my stuff. And his mom was like, oh my gosh, this is too much for me. That's all that happened with Clint and Tracy. Clint just better be glad he's not in jail right now, okay? With this accessory, you know, to stealing stuff and him not saying nothing. So then we get Scott and Lizzie. Okay, Scott and Lizzie scenes open up and they are walking into the Catholic Church. Okay, Lizzie got on her own a number, all this out. I said, okay, Lizzie, whatever, you know, let me tell you something. Do you, boo? Okay, she got all of it out. All right. So Scott proceeds to tell Jasmine and his son, who they walking into the church with, this is a church. Y'all don't be saying nothing crazy, okay? And then you could hear Jasmine say, I'll try. And I was like, okay, all right. So they're walking into the church, and then the reason that they're there is because Lizzie wants to make some confessions because she got a lot of things to get off her chest. Okay, she has a lot to confess, all right? She has a lot. She has hurt a lot of people. She's going to be there for a couple of weeks of just confessing, all right? So they walk into the church, and she's like, oh, she's extra, you know? She's like, oh, it's a beautiful church. And she's having a good time. And she's like, look, guys, I need to tell you something. Talking to Jasmine and Scott's son, Adam. I think it's his name, Adam. I love Adam. Adam is always not here for any of it, okay? He is just, Adam looks like he is 2 seconds away from just being like, you know what? This check not worth it. WeTV, this check is not worth it at all. And I'm like, I'm loving this guy. I mean, Adam. Sorry. So Lizzie's like talking to Adam and Jasmine. Guess what, guys? Me and Scott got, and you know, he proposed to me. We engaged. And Jasmine is like, what? And Lizzie's like, yep. Here it is. Here it is. Here. You see it? There it goes right there. And she puts it in Adam's face like, hey, look at him. And Adam's like, it looks expensive. And she's like, it is. I love the finer things in life. I gotta have the best for me. And he's like, but you're taking all my daddy's money. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna be quiet. So Adam is trying to be the best son he can. He's just holding this all up in the inside, but Lizzie is pushing it, okay? Why she put that ring in Adam's face like that? I don't know. So Jasmine is still like, I just cannot believe you said yes to this foolishness, and I'm so done with all of this. And Scott, you only been knowing her for a couple of days. Like, what is this? And so Jasmine is just, that was the final straw for Jasmine, that her mom was going along with this foolishness, and that Scott is pushing her mama into this foolishness, and she's just done. And so he's like, Lizzie's like, look, we love each other. We're gonna make this work. So Scott, tell me your, just tell me your vows right now. And he's like, and Lizzie's like, you don't know why you want to be with me? Lizzie is just the master manipulator, okay? She makes this man feel bad for not really knowing her and understanding her after a couple of weeks or a couple of days she's been out. She's just like, oh my gosh, why don't you know me? I know you so well, okay? And then Jasmine is chiming in the back like, yeah, why you don't know what to say to my mama? Like, you don't know why you love her? Stupid. And Scott's just like, I don't know. I'm not good at on the spot. I don't know. And Lizzie's like, Lizzie, the master manipulator that she is, right? She turns to her daughter. She's like, watch this. These are my vows. Watch this. Her face does like a whole scene. Scott, Thank you for staying with me my whole prison stay. Thank you. Okay? Thank you for being perfect in every way. Even though you got so many flaws, so many. But that don't mean nothing to me, 'cause you, my kind of perfect. You hear me? And that's why I love you. See, she just on the spot just gave you a good just scene. The girl is an actor, okay? She's an actor, she's a master manipulator. She has manipulated men. That's what she is good at. She's good at making men feel bad. She's good at manipulating them, and she just gave you a scene right there. So she's like, look, I gotta go confess now. I got some things to get off my chest. It's gonna take a while. I gotta go confess. And so she's in there confessing, and we just get a little clip of her confessing, and she's like, look, Father, I have sinned. I done took every man money on this earth, Father. I done raised $800,000 in donations to me for sending provocative pictures to people and promising them that I will come out and be with them, but that was never gonna happen, Jesus. $800,000. $800,000. The Red Cross could take some tips from me because I raised $800,000 in a matter of a couple of years, okay? Your girl has skills. She needs to put these skills to good use. Your girl knows how to raise money, okay? $800,000. We can't really see the priest too good, but I can tell he's just like, oh my God. I'm dealing with the master of her craft right now, okay? Go ahead, daughter, confess your sins. And then we cut to, we don't know where Adam's at. Adam's like, whatever, I don't care, I'm done. So we see Jasmine and Scott sitting down, and Jasmine's like, why are you doing this to my mama? Like, you don't know her. This is stupid. This is some bullshit. And he's like, I told you not to curse in the church. He didn't say that, but he was like, well, you're cursing in church, but okay. And he was like, I love your mama, and I don't regret nothing. And she like, this is stupid. So that's all that. That's the only place that conversation went nowhere, okay? So that was Scott and Lizzie. Okay, then we get to Matt and Caitlin. Matthew is driving in a car with his friend Sam in this little hot box car. I say hot box because they was smoking and whatnot, and Sam was just there like, I thought Sam was just gonna suck the life out that vape. I was like, Sam, that's not healthy. You really trying to get deep down there in them lungs with that smoking. That's not healthy, okay? And so Matt is like, look, give me that. And so they both trying to kill themselves in this car with this smoke. I'm like, that's not healthy, y'all. That's not healthy. So Sam was like, look, you know, my boss, you know, he's a convict himself. I really think that he's going to take a liking to Matthew. He's really going to take a liking to Matthew. They're going to work out perfect. They're going to be really best of friends, I think. And my boss is going to be like, oh my gosh, this is such a good guy. Let me get him that job. You know what I'm saying? Matthew was like, hold up. Let me show you what's going to happen. Sam's boss works in like construction or something. I think he was painting something when Matthew rolled up. Matthew and Sam rolled up, and he was like, hey, you know, whatever. They already had boss mic'd up and everything. So I was like, this scene kind of played out like it was scripted, WeTV. But I'm gonna let y'all do y'all thing, okay? I'm not gonna stop y'all hustle. I'm gonna let y'all do y'all thing, okay? The boss gets down from Peyton. He walks down the ladder, and he's like, what's up? What's up, y'all? What's good? And Sam and Matthew are like, Sam was like, hey, my friend, you know, he wants a job or whatever. And boss was like, so you vouch for him? And Sam was like, yeah, I mean, yeah. And Matthew was like, dang, why you brought me here if you're not gonna vouch for me? And so boss is like, okay, so let me, you know, let's do a little interview real quick. Or what? Have you worked in this before? Like, you know how to prime this pump? Like, do you have any experience? He's like, yeah, I used to work in HVAC, you know, when I was 18, 19. And he was like, how old are you now? I'm 28. And he's like, so what you been doing these past 10 years? And he was like, I've been in and out of prison the past 9, 10 years. And he was like, dang, so you don't really have no experience. And he was like, look, I ain't trying to say I had experience, but I was trying to say I know, like, what you doing at least. So, like, isn't that worth something? And he was like, okay, prime this pump for me. And Matt was like, see, I know this not going to sound good on an interview, but, like, I don't want to mess up my clothes. These my only pair of clothes. I just got these clothes. I don't try to mess them up, so I'm not doing it. And boss was like, but you need money to get more clothes, and I'm trying to offer you money with this job. This is a job interview for money to get more clothes. Would you like? So you're not driven? I see you're not driven, and like, what is the point of you being here if you don't wanna work? And Matt was like, apparently that was disrespectful of Matthew, okay? And Matthew was like, look, I'm not gonna sit here unless you disrespect me. You know what I'm saying? Like, forget this job. I need this job. Forget this job. I need this job. So Matthew goes crazy. Matthew was like, look, I don't need this job. You stupid. I'm stupid. Everybody's stupid. And he walks off, okay? And boss is like, look, I ain't about to deal with this foolishness. And he's like, I'm looking at Sam's side. He didn't say this, but I can tell in his head, he probably was like, I'm looking at Sam sideways, because Sam, why you bringing fools into my area and vouching for them, and then he trying to fight me because he don't want to work. Like, what is the point of this? And so Matthew is still in his high horse, like, man, I was about to assault him, you know. And Sam was like, that was about to get physical. And Matthew was like, yeah, man, for him, because I'm about to put the paws on him. And he was like, okay, well, let's go. And let's go back to my apartment. So they go back to Sam's apartment. Caitlin is at Sam's apartment cleaning up and whatnot. I was like, thank you. Good house guest, cleaning up. Okay, cool. And Sam walks in. He was like, you were cleaning, girl? She's like, yeah, I was doing a little bit. And he was like, thank you. And so then they begin to smoke some more. I just don't understand the smoking thing. It's like, why you need to, I'm like, dang, they must really have bad nerves, or just that smoking is just a lot. They, you know. So they're on the balcony smoking, and Caitlin's like, how'd it go? And Matthew was like, he was talking to me crazy, and she was like, what you mean? And so he explained to her what happened, and she was like, that sounds kind of stupid, you know. And this whole conversation went nowhere, but I'm distracted by, they had like an empty juice container sitting by Caitlin that was full of cigarette butts. I said, Lord, this is not my arena, because I was like, that's not it. This is not it. Caitlin was over it. Matthew was over it. Matthew was like, look, I know that she wants me to get a job, and that's fair, but I'm not going to take no mess. And, okay, Matthew, that was it for them. We'll get to Brittany and Marcelino. They were pretty quick. Brittany and Marcelino are walking into somebody's wilderness, looking like Serengeti. I don't know where they were. Somebody's desert, okay? They're walking into the desert wilderness, and then they're kind of having a cute little scene. They're kind of playing, like, you know, she's jumping on his back and whatnot. Marcelino is looking like he's playful. I was like, come on, Marcelino, like, I'm seeing a different side to you, and I like it, okay? And she's like, look, they kind of sit down on some rocks, boulders, I don't know. And she's like, look, I need to tell you something, like, you know, remember you met Amanda? She tried to, like, trick him into thinking that he already had met Amanda. And he was like, hold up. I know I met a couple of people, but I remember this Amanda girl. And she was like, yeah, Amanda, who I used to, she was my girlfriend in prison. Remember her? Remember I told you about her? He was like, I ain't never told me about no Amanda. I ain't never heard about Amanda before, okay? And she was like, yeah, she used to be my girlfriend, like, and yeah. So he was like, but she out? And she was like, yeah. And he was like, so you been talking to her or whatever on the phone? And she was like, yeah. And then he was like, have you seen her since she been out? And she was like, yeah. And he was like, what? She was like, yeah, she came over a couple of times. He was like, whoa. She came over to the room next to the bed? Why I lay my head at? And so he got up and he was upset and he was like, look, I can't trust you. You ain't telling me the truth. Like, you done had this girl over a couple of times by the bed while I lay my head. He was really upset. And she was like, okay, whatever. You're making a big deal out of this. So stupid. Like, I'm done talking to you. Done. Why are you walking away? This is dumb. So they were having this whole blow-up conversation, and I was like, okay. And so basically I understood where Marcelino was coming from. Like, I give Marcelino some crap in the other episodes, but Marcelino, I think, handled this the best way. I thought he was going to handle it way worse. I think he handled it in a very good way, because Brittany was in the wrong. Brittany, you're in the wrong. You should have been told that man. You should have asked him, like, if it was okay, if they could be in y'all's space and whatnot. Like, just because this is your ex, it's not just a friend. And he was like, get it straight, this is an ex, okay? This is not no just friend, okay? Like, y'all still are building trust, so y'all don't have that trust yet. And so I think it was fair for Marcelo to be like, look, I need to understand what's going on. I don't trust you yet. You know, like, it's fair for him to be upset about it. And so Brittany was a little like, Brittany was being unfair, I feel like. Even though Marcelino was walking away and she was like, why are you walking away? That's so childish. I mean, that's a lot to take in. Like, you thinking you're trusting somebody and then it turns out that maybe you can't trust her. Maybe this whole thing is not going to work out. So I understand. They came to a conclusion after a while, and Marcelino was like looking at everybody like, he was talking to the producers like, so y'all knew about this? Like, you had to have known. Y'all got cameras everywhere. And I was like, you're making a lot of sense, Marcelino. You're making a lot of sense. They do have cameras everywhere. They knew about it and they didn't tell you. They're not your friends. They're not. They're the camera crew. Why would they tell you that? Anyway. So he was upset. He was still mad. And she was like, look, either you're going to trust me or you don't. Like, I don't think she said sorry or anything. So I was like, sis, like, if you need to move forward, like, just admit that you were wrong in this whole situation. But she was like, look, he was coming from the point of like, I don't want you to be around these people because I'm scared that they're going to make you revert back to your old ways. And she was like, it's not them. It's always going to be my choice if I revert back to my ways. Cool. It seems like they came to an understanding. I was like, okay. I was kind of happy the way they worked it out. Done. Last couple, Megan, Michael, and Sarah. So Megan and Michael and Sarah. Megan and Michael just got... I really don't want to talk about this. Megan and Michael just got done deflowering her. And they just described it in the worst way. And Michael has no filter. None. Okay? Michael got no filters at all. And then Megan is just all giddy and stuff, and she's feeding. She's like, I hope you worked out the appetite because I got a lot of food. I mean, she really got a lot of food. I was like, dang, girl, like, you must have got all of what was downstairs, like, everything. So she was feeding him bacon and whatnot, and he was like, thank you. Appreciate it. I love her. You know, it's been a while since, you know, I had something, so it's like I'm new to this too, girl. You know what I'm saying? And we cut to the producers, and they're like, so, when's the last time you've been with Sarah? And he's like, it's been a while. It's been a little minute. You know what I'm saying? And they were like, okay, so you sleeping with Sarah and you're sleeping with Megan. Like, this don't add up. So who you want to be with? You sleeping with both of them. It don't make no sense. And we cut to Sarah. Sarah, poor thing, is like, look, I done tried to call Michael so many times. I've been threatening him. I've been blowing up his phone. He's not answering me. I'm not worried. Still saying that she's not worried about who he's with, but she's worried about where he's at because she don't want him to get in trouble with his parole because that's her husband. And I'm like, Sarah, stop worrying about that fool. He is a fool, okay, girl? Just move on. But anyway, then we cut back to Megan and Michael, and they're at the falls, and the falls are nice. Just went there last year. It was beautiful. Okay, we went on the Canadian side. The Canadian side is nice. Okay, but anyway, so they're at the falls, and Megan's like, take a picture of me, and he's like, I ain't got my phone. And she's like, here's my phone. And so she's like taking pics and stuff, and she's like, say the poem that you told me. He's like, I don't have it. I love the way Michael talks. It's just so nice. He's like, I have it. And she's like, okay. And so they're all kissing and stuff at the falls, and they get a boat tour. And so they're on this like little boat tour where you can, you know, you're in the falls and the water splash. Everything is beautiful. And he's like, what was that doll's name? What was that doll's name in Titanic? Jack and Jane. And she was like, no, stupid, it's Jack and Rose. And he was like, I love Michael. Okay, Michael cracks me up with this monotone voice and just no inflections. Just he stays in one tone, boo. Okay, and that's all he gonna give you. Okay. And so then they get back done from the boat tour and everything, and it's cute. They then had a nice like little romantic trip out, and then they back in the hotel, and she, I guess when they were at the fall, she was hoping that he was going to propose, even though he already proposed when he was in prison. She was like, I just want a ring so I can show people. So she was hoping that he was going to propose then, but then he's like, wait for tonight. And she's like, well, tonight he going to propose tonight. And so they get back to the hotel, and he looks at his phone, and he sees that, and he sees all these missed messages from Sarah, because she's been blowing him up, and he sees that Sarah has said that his PO called, and she had to tell him that he wasn't there. And he was like, Megan, I got to go. Like, I can't be messing with my PO now, okay? Like, look. He needs to know where I'm at all times, sis. Like, I didn't tell him I was coming up here. And then Megan was like, oh my gosh, like, I don't want you to leave. Like, she was like, I thought he was going to tell his PO that he was up here, and his PO had approved of this little trip that, you know, that we're having right now, but apparently not. And he was like, I'm sorry, I gotta leave, but I gotta go. Bye, boo-boo. And she was like, no, don't leave. And she was just crying and whatnot. He was like, I'm sorry, you know, I don't want to see it like that, but I gotta go. I keep messing with my PO. I ain't trying to go back to jail. I ain't trying to be out on the run. I gotta go. Period. So she is just upset, y'all. She's really upset. This is her first time being with a man, and so she is just upset, okay, that he is on parole and he gotta go and he can't be with her, and it's just a whole mess. So that was pretty much it. I think there was a scene with Sarah and her friend, but they wasn't really talking about nothing. Same old stuff. So anyways, I hope you guys liked this episode and the review. Thank you for telling me last episode that they had cleared 10 more episodes, y'all. 10 more episodes. I don't know what's gonna happen in 10 more episodes, but I'm all here for it. Thank you guys so much for leaving me comments on the last couple of videos. I really appreciate it. I try to get to replying back to all of you. If I don't, I'm so sorry, but thank y'all for getting involved in, you know, our conversation and whatnot. Don't forget to do the same in this video. Give me a like and subscribe if, you know, because we're going to do more Live After Lockup, because we got 10 more episodes. We got a lot to go, okay? So thank y'all. Love y'all. See you on the next one. Bye.